There are world medalists Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer. The Canadian ice dance team is getting set for the final act of a 3-act play, hoping for a storybook ending here in Kitchener tonight. Championship title left to be claimed. The French champions make one final push toward a berth in the Grand Prix final. Canadians Weaver and Bourzat know they're on the verge of a career milestone, their first Grand Prix win. And for Canadian world medalists Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, they can taste a second Skate Canada title here at home today. Homestead Skate Canada International has called this building home 4 times in its 35-year history. The Kitchener Auditorium has hosted some of the finest skaters in the sport, and tonight it welcomes Olympic hopefuls and possibly an Olympic championship team to the ice. Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Irving along with 4-time world champion Kurt Browning and Olympic medalist Tracy Wilson. Well, championship figure skating on CBC presented by Artistry is back for another night, and on the ice tonight, we're probably going to see a team that most would consider to be Canada's best hope for an Olympic gold medal in Vancouver in February. Tessa Virtue, Scott Moyer, they lead after the original dance, and it's a sizable lead.
It is a sizable lead, and all of their focus will be mostly on their program and their performance. The magic number that they are going to be striving to hit is 101, so they can post the season's best score. But Kurt, they are going to have to be virtually perfect to post that.
Yes, I think that they need to make sure that they're clean. Also because of those mistakes they had in the original dance. They don't want to send that message out to the rest of the world. And I'm just going to agree with you. You're the Olympic medalist in dance.
That'll work well for you.
The other member of our team here in Kitchener this week is Karen Larson, and she has more on the Canadian champions. Karen?
Well, Brenda, injuries are a fact of life in sport, and so it was for Tessa Virtue last year when she fought a very painful condition in her legs called compartment syndrome. Now, the good news is surgery has repaired the problem. The even better news is they've had a full season of training.
Yeah, we're certainly not taking it for granted. I mean, the opportunity to compete on the Grand Prix circuit is just a dream for us this year, and we feel like we're right on track, and we're building the programs, and we're right where we want to be.
Now, Tessa has called this season of skating injury-free the best feeling ever. Now I'm going to throw it down to our internet maven, PJ Kwan.
Well, Virtue and Moyer have a little bit of a home field advantage here in Kitchener. They have the lead. Pecaealat and Bourzat comfortably situated in second place. The real fight here is for third. Just a point separating Canadians Weaver and Bourzat and Americans Samuelson and Bates.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first competitors representing Canada, Andrea Chong and Gonfeller.
Andrea Chong and Gonfeller finished 4th at last year's Canadian Championships. Kurt and Tracy, just their 3rd year together, a relatively short period of time. I mean, you look at Canadian champions, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, a team which has been skating side by side for a dozen years.
It's very difficult to gel as a team, particularly in ice dance where you skate so closely together. Virtue and Moyer, well-oiled machine. Skating to Once Upon a Time in the West. Guillaume is a very large presence on the ice, fills the arena. Andrea, more reserved by nature. Little miscue there. So this program was designed to bring Andrea out of her shell. She is portraying the darker side of love. He, the gentle, tender side. The the ice dancers always have a theme in the free dance, and that helps to allow them to weave the technical requirements into the artistry of the dance. There are required elements in the free dance. 3 different lifts, a dance spin, 2 step sequences, which they are executing one of those step sequences here, and also a required set of twizzles. Here the required spin, and it's crucial. If you make a mistake on one of the elements, it costs you from the technical mark and the component score. Very, very costly.
It seems as though the tone of the choreography has switched from the priority of Andrea's character to Guillaume's now, the softer, gentler side of love. I like their theme. Some themes are so complicated with the story. This is very open-minded and allows the viewer, the fan of skating, to imprint upon them their own story.
A relatively new team looking to move up the ranks of Canadian ice dance, Andrea Chong and Guillaume Gonfeller.
Ladies and gentlemen from Canada.
We'll be back with their scores in a moment.
I'm Andrew Poje.
And I'm Caitlin Weaver.
And you're watching Championship Figure Skating on CBC.
Thanks, Andrew, for all the work with this.
Andrea Chong and Guillaume Gonfeller's last international competition was Skate Canada last year. Their free dance score at that time was a little over 67 points, and that just slightly lower by about 3 points.
Still early in the season for them. They've got a little bit of more mileage to go on that before the national championships.
Samuelson and Bates.
Last season, Americans Emily Samuelson and Evan Bates were one of 2 teams to win a medal in their first year on the Senior Grand Prix circuit. The other team, Canada's Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier. Emily and Evan sat in 4th place after the original dance, just a point back of 3rd.
And they will be skating to Canto della Terra, sung by Sarah Brightman and Andrea Bocelli.
Well, they are the reigning U.S. silver medalists, hoping to move up and take the second Grand Prix medal of their careers.
I thought they attacked that. They found the perfect line between relaxing in, performing the program, and still attacking the ice. Well done.
Scores still to come for Samuelson and Bates, and skating next. Well, the U.S. can send 3 teams to the Olympics. This team should be one of them.
Yes, they should. Teammates Davis and White and Belbin and Augusto will challenge for the Olympic podium.
77.80 for a total of 160.
A little bit lower than their free dance score from earlier in the season, and will leave them for the moment in second place.
Well, there you see Andrew Pogé and Caitlin Weaver about to go out on the ice. You know, when they step out there, the ovation will be loud. Not only are they in a hunt for the medal, they are the hometown favorites. Being local matters to Andrew Pogé and Caitlin Weaver. He is a native son born and raised. She an American from Texas, both happy to be competing on friendly ice.
People from opening the doors to Zamboni drivers, everyone that's helping out at the event, I've grown up with. I've been there, been on the other side, helping out at the events, and so I grew up with this family of people.
He was the flower retriever at Skate Canada in 1996.
I think the best memory I had was when Junior Nationals was here in the auditorium, and we won the silver medal. And it was one of my happy moments in my career, and I definitely remember skating to the Beauty and the Beast of that.
A graduate of Blue Vale Collegiate, where he played football, Andrew's figure skating career took a turn upwards when he partnered with Caitlin in '06. They've competed for Canada at Worlds and Grand Prix since, but the Olympics were out of the question until June of this year, when Caitlin finally received her Canadian citizenship at a ceremony right here in Kitchener.
It was one of the first things I noticed when I moved to Kitchener-Waterloo, was that the people are so warm and friendly, and I felt so welcome and at home. And that was a great feeling, moving away, different country when I was 17. So it made a big difference. And even before we had our first competition, we had a great support system from day one. So it's great to feel that, and each step we take, we know that we have that behind us.
To make the Olympics, they'll need to place top 2 at this year's Nationals. Now that Caitlin is officially Canadian, the door is at least open. And heck, the former Southern Belle has embraced her new country to such a degree, she's even been heard to utter the word A from time to time.
Well, not so much as some people, but I have. It is catching up.
Their sights are set on winning their first Grand Prix medal, along with their coach, and she's with Karen Larson.
Thanks very much, Brenda, here with the busiest woman in figure skating, Battle of the Blades finalist Shaylin Bourne, but more importantly tonight, the coach of Andrew Pogé and Caitlin Weaver. So what is your advice to them heading into the free dance tonight?
Well, they're sitting in third right now, and they've never been in that position before at a senior Grand Prix event. So it's my advice is for them to be free, to show how much they love their program, and to give it 100%. That's all you can say, and the result will come with that.
A quick thought on your participation in Battle of the Blades. How much fun was that?
It was an absolute blast, and I have to say the Tuesday afterwards was a bit of a letdown. I was depressed. I was a little choked up saying goodbye to Claude because we were so attached, the whole group. It was like a family, and I'm so glad that I was a part of it. I really am.
Nicely done. Good luck to you and your team here tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brenda?
The next competitors represent Canada. Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Pogé.
Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Pogé were Canadian silver medalists in 2008, but lost that spot to the young team of Vanessa Crone and Paul Poirier. They want to reclaim that position as Canada's #2 team, and Kurt and Tracy earn a spot to the next Olympic Games in Vancouver.
Skating to one of Caitlin's all-time favorite pieces of music, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. coming in here, they're in a virtual tie for third place. Samuelson and Bates ranked 11th in the world. It would be a huge upset if these two could hold on to third spot.
It would also help them incredibly as far as a nod towards the Olympic Games would be if they could defeat Emily and Evan.
Difficult entry into these twizzles, jumping into them and hanging on to the rotation.
Beautiful exit from that spin.
Kurt, it's very important how you transition in and out of the elements, that you do make them look like an integral part of the dance, not a technical element. Miscommunication there, and that was on a required footwork sequence.
Defying gravity in that lift. The illusion was beautiful. Caitlin and Andrew have started really blurring the line between preparing for a lift and being in the lift.
Timing is exquisite. They have totally captured the flavor of this dance.
And the fans on their feet here at the Kitchener Auditorium for the hometown skaters, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget, at stake their very first Grand Prix medal. We'll have the scores for Weaver and Poget in just a moment, but there were just 2 spots to the Olympic Games in ice dance for Canada, and this certainly won't hurt Caitlin Weaver, Andrew Poget's cause.
It will not. What a beautiful overall performance. They got right into the music. They had the audience in the palm of their hands. Kurt, my only criticism was in some places they got a little bit tight towards the end. I wanted them to push a little bit more.
I felt that the great character that they played was really fine, and I think I know 2/3 of the way through exactly what spot you're talking about. There was about 45 seconds there where it seemed like, are they going to push for the end, or are they going to glide to the end?
Well, they ended up pushing to the end. Will it be enough?
They weren't satisfied with their scores from earlier in the season, the Cup of China. I think we'd all agree a much improved performance from there.
This is a big moment. This is big. This is career memory stuff coming up.
82.28.
Wow, look at that. 82.28, and that will move them into first place. And with 2 teams left to skate, they can finish no worse than third.
And that is a huge upset for Weaver and Poget of Canada.
Natalie Pecaealat and Fabien Bourzat are the reigning French national champions. They set career highs last season with a 5th place finish at last year's Worlds and a 4th place result at Europeans. They were in 2nd place after the original dance behind Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer.
And Natalie and Fabien are known for their clever, quirky choreography. Last year it was from the circus. This year they're skating to Requiem for a Dream. She is a dreamer, he is time. And with their arms, body, and leg movements, they mimic the hands of a clock, establishing the theme.
Few years, the ice dancers have really had to expand on their abilities, taking more priority on the spins in their programs, adding a new dimension to dance. I like it.
Very impressive, their ice coverage, and you see this circular step sequence. They've covered half the ice on 1 foot. Now adding a variety of turns while twisting within each other's arms and finishing with side-by-side twizzles.
Far away from each other on that pass.
A theme, it's a bit of a stretch. Time and her being a dreamer. I can't believe how well they've incorporated their theme into this dance. It's working.
There's always a level of fantasy in their programs. They always look like they just walked out of a tryout for Cirque du Soleil with their costumes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Absolutely not. Tick-tock goes the clock.
Side-by-side twizzles. Arms behind the back for a higher degree of difficulty.
Wow, she knows martial arts.
Well, I jumped the cue there. That was a fantastic free dance by the reigning French national champions.
And again, a very difficult theme to carry off. I loved the innovation of this program. It still needs a little bit of fine tuning to work with Swiss precision.
Extension. I found that was what was missing. They were so busy. I didn't see too many clean lines. So you know me, I'm such a picky dance guy.
Well, the scores for the French national champions after the break. Well, a first or second place finish here, and they're off to the Grand Prix final. The scores now for Natalie Pecaealat and Fabian Bourzat.
Oh, much improved over their first Grand Prix. They will be happy to hit the 90s.
Well, they will be off to the Grand Prix final in Tokyo in December after missing it last year.
The final competitors represent Canada.
Our final team of the night.
Moyer.
Canada's two-time world medalists. Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer will have had a difficult time last season because of that injury to Tessa. They're 100% now and are Canada's best shot at a figure skating gold medal in Vancouver in February.
And they will skate to Adagietto from Mahler's Fifth Symphony. When you skate like that, you don't want the moment to end, and neither does this audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada,
That was truly one of those performances they will never forget. As athletes, as performers, they were truly in the zone in another place.
The simple theme about how a man and a woman should feel about each other and the joyful celebration of that feeling. I think that came across.
With their coaches, Marina Zueva, Igor Spielban.
And she said, oh, it's good. I almost cried. And she studied books and pored over videos to be inspired to create wonderful highlights like this. Oh, my goodness. I talked about the fact that they have the potential to take ice dance to a whole new place, as Torvill and Dean did, and I think they've done that with this program. One of the things they do better than any other team in the world is their use of their free leg extension. They have the intricate choreography and the footwork sequences, but the point of the toe, the unison, and then moves like this. No hands, back loop.
Taking off of the right thigh of Scott.
You watch the coaches, Igor, Marina.
They'll be hoping for scores after that performance, which will be the best in the world this season.
They have to get over 101 to do that.
103.12, a season's best.
And a world's best for Tessa and Scott.
And that's what you want in one of your last big international competitions before the Olympic Games. Mission accomplished.
Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the three-day
Mrs. Moyer in tears in the stands, as well she should be.
In just a few moments, we will be presenting.
Well, there you see the total score, the best in the world this season. The grand total score of 204. Pecaealat and Bourzat in second, and big news for Canada as Caitlin Weber and Rupoche get their very first Grand Prix medal. So two Canadian teams on the podium here at HomeSense Skate Canada International. Now let's head backstage to Karen Larson, who's with our winners.
Well, thanks, Brenda. Yes, they enchanted the crowd. You obviously enchanted the judges as well. You've got the world best score up there. You win Skate Canada. What a wonderful moment for you, Tessa.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. It's definitely a moment for us, and you know, we haven't felt that for so long because of my injury, and the crowd was amazing, and we were right into the performance. We were there every step of the way. Great to come back after yesterday.
Absolutely. And Scott, you did have those hiccups yesterday in the original dance. So how did you get over that and get out there and become so magical today?
It didn't take us long to get over yesterday. It was just one of those days. You know, we knew we had one more segment and we wanted to just come out, and we were fired up. We could have done that free dance like minutes after we did the OD yesterday. So we were just excited to get out there and show what we really have.
Just quickly, what does this performance say to the rest of the world?
I don't know. I mean, I think it says that we're excited to skate and we're just happy to be skating with each other more than anybody. We don't really care about the rest of the world. We're just happy to have each other and skate with each other.
Excellent job today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brenda?
Well, it was a great night for Canadian ice dance.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're a golf fan, you really are happy that you're a golf fan while Tiger Woods is playing. And I think if you're a skating fan, this team Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, you're really happy that you're a skating fan when they're skating. They're that good.
Yes,
Am I
they
right?
are,
Yes,
and
I knew it.
particularly in that performance tonight. However, I was concerned coming in here. Tessa injured last year, shaky performances the whole season. Also the start of this season, original dance, free dance in France, they weren't on, and they weren't on in the original dance here. And Kurt, I was asking myself, is this a team that's going to be able to realize their potential? And I'm so glad they answered with a resounding yes tonight.
There was a lot of yeses tonight. If you look into our third place team in Canada right now, Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Proget, they placed third at Skate Canada, their first medal on the international circuit, and in doing so beat a couple of teams that they had never beaten before, setting a precedent that Crone and Poirier will have to follow. And really, that head-to-head battle at nationals is going to be amazing for that last spot at the Olympic Games. Really exciting stuff.
So good news for Canadian ice dance fans, two captivating performances.
So Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer win another Skate Canada title, this one in Kitchener, and are on a high, and the week wonderfully for Canada. I'm Brenda Irving. For Kurt Browning, Tracy Wilson, Karen Larson, and the rest of the crew, thanks for watching.